Hi everyone, and welcome to another edition of Scottish Coffee with Father James. This is my Rampant Lion Scottish mug, and no, there's not Scotch whiskey. There's not single malt in my coffee, although some days I wish there was. I don't know if that would make it more of Irish coffee, the Irish/Scottish coffee. I don't think there's much of a Scottish tradition in putting whiskey in coffee. So anyway, how you doing? It's good to see you. It's been quite a week, quite a day today. Such a beautiful, beautiful day, and I hope you're getting out enjoying the sun as have totally left spring or winter behind anyway. It seems that we're at the other end of spring as well and beginning to have hints of summer, which is wonderful. I'm looking forward to it, very much so. One of the things that we've been talking about over the last couple of weeks is the changes to our parish staff. And one of the things I hope to do is to kind of have all of this settled as much as possible before we go into the kind of summer break. Now, let's be honest, as we saw in the news this past week, if you have summer cottages, we're not exactly being encouraged to enjoy them right now. Who knows when we're going to get to enjoy them? But regardless of how the summer shapes up with the usual kinds of vacations or breaks, there is, at least psychologically, a summer break. We know that, right? Basically, mid-July to end of August, we're taking it easy, okay? We're taking it easy. You got the permission to take it easy. We all need to slow down, right? We all need to slow down. So I'm hoping to get this stuff in place. The last 2 weeks I've announced during this Coffee with Father James video the two staffing members. We have Jen, who's going to be the social outreach coordinator as a result of the one-time donation for that project and developing North End Dartmouth and other things. And then we have Brenda, who was announced last week, who's coming on as our office manager. We've not really had an office manager or a central administrative person since I've gotten here, so we're looking forward to her being here. And I said last week that I had yet another announcement. And I know, like I said last week, you probably think, what is in Father James' coffee? There must be something in his coffee besides caffeinated liquids. But there's not. And here's the rationale behind this next announcement about another new staff member. Yeah, I haven't lost my marbles. I know that we've got a budget, there's a finite amount of resources. Here's the thing. Remember, Father Rob is leaving. Right? Remember that? He's leaving. So all the stuff that Father Rob did, and he did a lot, that guy is a hard worker. So we need to cover a lot of ground because in the short term, we've got a help for priestly ministry, as you heard, with Father Pat Cosgrove coming to work, anywhere between 8 to 12 hours a week, depending on the week, helping us out with priestly ministry. We've got Deacon David coming. He comes in a volunteer capacity as an ordained deacon. He's got a full-time job, so he gives a certain amount of time. And Deacon David and Father Pat are going to be focusing on extra help, primarily around things that ordained ministers usually do. See, Father Rob did a whole bunch of things, as you know. He didn't just do kind of priestly ministry, all ministry that a priest does is in one sense priestly ministry, but I mean ministry specific to a priest, to an ordained minister. He did a whole bunch of other things. And when Father Rob leaves, we've got a big hole to fill. So when we were going through the interviewing process for the last two positions, there was a certain person who applied who I thought would be ideal to fill in this hole. And what is the most pressing need ahead of us as a parish? It's to, now that we've laid down the administrative stuff, we've got that in order. We've got some great staffing in admin. We've got Jen, who's going to carry forward the whole outreach to the community and to the poor. We need to begin to invest in the whole call to make disciples, to evangelize and to form disciples, and to connect and bring people in. And so that's the position that I had in mind. And so we've got no idea when we'll have a long-term solution to a second priest for this location. So in the meantime, I can't afford to just leave this space empty. The hole that Father Rob leaves is there, and we're going to need to fill it. And so here's what I discussed with the parish leadership team. We discussed it with the finance council. I've discussed it with the bishop, and we're good to go. So the new position is going to be Alpha and Connections Coordinator. Now, what the heck does that mean? Well, many of you have been involved in Alpha Taster. It's not real Alpha, remember, because all the people taking Alpha right now, or Alpha Taster, are people who are already connected to our church. They're already involved in our church, very involved in some cases. And so it's a kind of a experience of learning how to use this tool, a kind of training process in a sense. But our goal in September is to launch Real Alpha, which is primarily aimed at people outside of our community. Now, here's the thing. It's aimed out there, but often I would guess that when we start in September, we'll probably be about 70-80% parishioners and 20 to 30% non-parishioners, non-churchgoers, people who are not connected. That would be amazing. But the thing is that with Alpha, you've got a tool through which you can, in a sense, connect with people and bring them in. And then we want to make sure that we don't leave people there. We've got to be able to bring people not just to an experience of Jesus and the Holy Spirit and an experience of the church in a loose sense as a community, but we want to be able to get people connected into the life of our church, to get them involved, to get them connected and eventually getting connected to the sacraments and such. And so that's the goal. Alpha and Connections Coordinator. This person would oversee the whole Alpha team in putting on our alphas and getting our team formed and shaped, but also with anything around connections, anything around connecting with people, working closely with Director of Communications, working to reshape what we do for hospitality, to make hospitality about more than saying good morning, here's a bulletin, but making hospitality about really how do we get people from the parking lot to the heart of our church, to be involved and be a member of our community. I don't have the answers to that, but we need someone who can head it up. So that's the position. That's the position that I want to fill. And so here's the person. Are you ready for this? His name, and you're going to see the NHL sports image here. Here he is. His name is Nolan Conrad. He's even got like a playoff beard. You can see that in the picture. Nolan Conrad is originally, he's a Cape Brettoner. I mean, need I say more? I mean, he's a caper, so he's going to be great fun. It's going to be great. He is a new husband and a new father, husband to Eve and his son Zechariah. He's no stranger to this part of town. He attended St. Mary's University in Halifax. He was involved in campus ministry and was involved in CCO, Catholic Christian Outreach. He went on to serve as a missionary with a youth organization, and then went to work for the Diocese of Antigonish as kind of a youth director, going around visiting different parishes and working with their youth to help youth ministry get going around the diocese. Then he followed the girl he fell in love with to Calgary. He chased the girl and went to Calgary, got a job as direct coordinator of youth ministry in a big parish in Calgary. But when COVID-19 hit, everything went into lockdown and he was laid off. And he came back to Nova Scotia, and wouldn't you know it, now we're offering him a job. And so he's thrilled about this. We're able to offer Nolan a 1-year contract. That's standard right now for the diocese. Every job position begins with a 1-year contract, after which it would be reviewed. God willing, we'll be able to keep on going, because this is a very, very important position to fill and to do well. So he's going to be the coordinator of Alpha and Connections. A few other things about Nolan. He loves the faith. He loves the church. He loves hockey. He's a Toronto Maple Leafs fan. Now, I know some of you that might be a very good thing. Others, it might not be a good thing. He loves playing guitar and leading songs of praise, spending time with family. And yeah, that's Nolan. And like the other 2 new staff members, it just so happens, timeline and all this, he's going to begin on Monday, July 5th. And so that's all 3 are going to begin Monday, July 5th, which is really weird. I've never had 3 staff members all start on the same day before. And so I figured I'd go for 4 in 1, and I contacted Deacon David, who doesn't formally begin his time with us until July 28th, but I said, hey, David, can you come in? We're going to do this. We do a orientation couple of days on July 5th and 6th. Can you come and be a part of it? He said, yes, I can. So 4 new people, July 5th and 6th. We're going to plan a really great orientation process to bring on these 4 new amazing people. And I just say we're incredibly blessed to be able to do this. So really excited. Please join me in welcoming Nolan. And for those of you doing Alpha right now, you may recognize him. He and his wife are actually involved in our Alpha right now. And so if he might even have been in your small group. So this coming Monday, we'll all be able to say hi to Nolan. Okay. I think I need a sip of whiskey. I mean coffee before I continue. That was a Freudian slip. So next thing is buildings and lockdown. We're still in lockdown, as you know. Numbers are going down. Yesterday, this is Monday. Yesterday they were down to 46. So we're coming down. This is all good. It's all very good. But as far as we know right now, lockdown continues until June 9th, at least until June 9th. So we don't really know what will happen. So again, as we know, we'll let you know about this. One of the things that this is delayed, of course, has been the opening of our other 2 locations. We had planned to open them May 1st. Now, so I hope everyone realizes that this is kind of been out of my control. So as soon as the lockdown is lifted, we will be reopening the other 2 locations. And we are actually in the process of cleaning them and getting them ready for reopening, because there's a few things we have to do. The buildings are in good shape, and we plan as soon as possible to reopen them to begin a weekday mass as well. Now, a few little things about this. With the St. Paul's location, there's quite a bit of things lying around, and so we're doing a real cleanup, not just because of reopening, but because we actually have a church group is going to be renting the basement and the hall. And the church group is a non-Catholic church called Deepwater Church. They have a Dartmouth location. They've been renting out the cinema, and they approached us. The pastor is a good friend of mine, an amazing guy. And here's the thing: we had a building not in use. They were paying money to a movie theater. They said, we'd rather pay something to you guys. And so we went to the Archdiocese, got the go-ahead from the bishop. Right now, because it's still going to be a functioning Catholic church for weekday mass, they're going to use the basement and the hall, and possibly upstairs occasionally, maybe once a month at most. And this way, they'll cover the basic utility costs, and we'll get a bit of rent that we can put towards kind of the staffing costs that we're going to have. So this is great. We're going to be in a 1-year contract, and then after that, it'll be renewable once a month, because again, we're unsure of what the future is, so we don't want to be locked down. But I think it's actually very exciting. AJ's church, you can check it out online, Deepwater Church. They do amazing work. AJ, as I said, is a friend of mine, and I think it's going to be fantastic. They're very supportive of what we're doing in North Dartmouth. In fact, we already partner with them to do the faith-based 12-step program that we run out of the St. Anthony's Hall. So we look forward to welcoming them. And so also to help them come in, there's a lot of things around St. Paul's that we're going to be moving and clearing out. If any of you have any concerns about that, just drop us a line. If there's anything at the location that you might want to claim or whatever, let us know, okay? Because there's a lot of things that need to be cleaned out. Also over at the Immaculate Conception area, once we reopen it, some of you may, if you go downstairs to go to the bathroom, you might see that the hall actually has been turned into a storage space. Our other neighbors, First Baptist, with whom we share the operations of the food bank, they sold their building, as many of you know. They were looking for a place to store property, office supplies. So we've got an empty hall, so they're giving us a bit of a donation to store that material. So that's what that is. And we will be using upstairs once a week. Now, here's one thing about the Immaculate Conception location. This coming December 8th, Feast of the Immaculate Conception, will be the 100th anniversary of the dedication of that church building. 100th anniversary. And so even though we're not going to be heating the building again and probably ceasing to have weekday mass by November 1st, just like we did this past year, we will be aiming to have a mass on December 8th. And in all likelihood, and it won't come as a surprise to you, in all likelihood, this will be the last Mass in that building. And I know that a number of years ago, there was a wish expressed, a hope expressed by many of the parishioners associated with that location that can we at least not close the building before the 100th anniversary. And I'm very pleased to say that yeah, we can do this. I think we can make this happen, even if we have to bring in area heaters for that particular Mass because it might be a little bit chilly. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to have probably what's going to be a final Mass in that location on December 8th. And I know it will be bittersweet. And we've asked Francis Moriarty from our parish leadership team to get in touch with some folks to begin to make some plans around that event because, you know, I know that you accept that this transition, this change is as difficult as it is necessary, but we need to do it properly. We need to celebrate our past. We need to grieve what we're letting go of, but then we need to turn with conviction and hope and determination to build our future. Because the thing is, as much as we're concerned about our past, we've got to be, 100 times more concerned about our future if we're going to have a viable future. And we are certainly going to have something in our future for sure. Other than that, one final thing. This coming Friday, we're going to be releasing the first of a small series of 5-6 minute videos to address the topic of mass intentions, and a change in our practice about what we do around mass intentions. We're going to be releasing 3 videos. One is going to look at the history of offering masses being offered people. Where did that come from? Why do we do it? I'm going to look secondly at the theology behind it, both good and not so good. And thirdly, I'm going to look at some pastoral issues. And I'm going to do all of this in the context of the changes that we're going to be making. So first video probably coming out Friday, and the other ones to follow shortly after that. So check that out when it comes. So have a wonderful rest of the day, and we will see you next time. Remember to subscribe, hit the bell right here, little bell here, to subscribe to what we're doing, and please share this video with whoever you wish. Take care. God bless.